Warden's theory of devolution explained. One of the main subspecies in recent years is the Homo sap rapicus. Generally, their outward appearance is a backward-facing baseball cap, which is indicative of the brain function. Generally, a very long body and exceptionally short legs. The outer denim material seems to gather around the ankle area. A recent development of this species seems to be the inclusion of very bright red or yellow footwear. Generally, they will have some sort of body warmer, and they come in all shapes and sizes and manner of clothing, but generally very long spines and very short legs. Another recent subspecies that has been found, which seems to have originated in the advertising on mainstream media, is Homo sap giacomo. Generally a male-only species. Now this one has ultra-tight denim covering over the legs. The covering is very short, leaving the ankles exposed. Generally a light blue denim colouring by the looks of things, and almost always a compulsory light brown hush puppy type suede material footwear, and a compulsory checked shirt. Sometimes they will have jackets on, or of all different styles, but they do conform to various patterns. Hair is always short and heavily gelled. Massive square beards are another feature of this subspecies. Invariably, both of these species will be found with electronic devices in their hands, possibly even holding a Costa or Starbucks coffee cup when they walk around. A more recent development has been the Homo sap covidiatus. These are easy to spot. They have this they seem to be devoid of a nose or mouth and have this white thing in its place. Generally, they have this look of stupidity and fear in the eyes. We're not sure if these are just straps or if they are just to hold the head together. Now, in a recent laboratory experiment, we have even managed to scalp one of these creatures and found that they do actually have a mouth underneath, which seems to suggest that they live on a diet of processed food. Another feature of these is the front paws. There are 5 digits. They seem devoid of any nails or claws. They seem to shed these things on pavements. You will only find them in urban areas. They are generally light blue, but there is also a variety in white. They are like a latex texture. And they do seem to shed these, and occasionally these as well. There is another subspecies of these, the Homo sap coviditus glacius. Now this one has a glazed full face extension over the top of this whatever was in place of the mouth and the nose. Now there is a band you will find on these. We are of the idea that possibly the brain was removed and something else, maybe nanotechnology, was put there instead. Again, we have what appear to be straps that go round the ears with these things, and you can find these, particularly their habitat seems to be around pharmacies and shops. Cold weather doesn't seem to bother them, nor does rain or hailstones, and they just stand motionless. They are not a social creature. They are very fearful and timid. it's very difficult to get up close and engage in conversation with one of these creatures. They are only seen in daylight hours. Night times they seem to feed on mainstream propaganda. But the origins of these species, this Homo sap rapicus seems to be an offshoot of the Homo sap chav, which seem to have a tendency to be on benefits, buy the majority of its clothing, the cheapest possible lines from places like Primark, unless it was a social gathering for cocaine when they would go to Sports Direct. But this is the devolution of what these bipeds, what is collectively known as humanity. So the theory has been put to the test, and we have managed to film the rarer variety, which will be shown in a separate documentary. We have also seen evidence of the shedding of this outer skin over their front paws, which are just thrown down on pavements in urban areas. They seem to have a tendency to think that somebody else is going to clear up after them. They are very reliant and believing that their governments are going to save them. It's probably not going to be long before these creatures actually go extinct. They do seem, or they did at one point seem to possibly to be able to breed and increase in numbers. The young versions seem to be copies of the adults in miniature versions of the same type of clothing. We will watch the developments of how this species progresses and report further when we have more information. But certainly with the filming, the theory has been proven that there is a devolution happening to these hominids.